the dark. Oh, the ties that thread and tangle tight, diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway, persona non grata carried far away. Pages turn but bridges burn so fast. A name in ember solemnly cast. In halls of power a silent decree echoes and whispers across the sea. Oh, the ties that thread and tangle tight, diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway, persona non grata carried far away. When walls talk back and windows cry, boundaries drawn under heavy skies. In the space between the set and scene lies a story that cuts unclean. Oh, the ties that thread and tangle tight, diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway, persona non grata carried far away. Persona non grata carried far away.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Because you can't cancel all of us. You're welcome to give it a try. The internet just ain't real life, folks. The internet just ain't real life. Tom McDonald with his latest smash hit, You Can't Cancel All of Us, with a plethora of big names in there. Roseanne Barr, Kevin Sorbo, Benny Johnson, Trump's daughter-in-law. The list goes on. Former RNC co-chairman. Wow, what an incredible song. That thing is incredible. You can't cancel all of us. I can just keep playing that song all day long. Fantastic. Before that, you heard, of course, Giselle with Like Your Foot Up. Jump right out of that plane. Go ahead. You jump with your chute. I'm not leaving a perfectly functional plane. Just say it. And then it was, of course, Persona Non Grata, my own song. And then this one here was Tom McDonald, You Can't Cancel All of Us. What a brilliant song. Welcome to all the Neanderthals, the canines, and right-wing podcasters. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Welcome back to the program. Wow. Saw a video of you after a third interview at Embassy. Interesting facts you share with us. Maybe you should share those facts again here with everyone. Daniel, maybe, but this is a news program right now. But when I share them on live streams, then people don't watch my videos. I put a lot of time and effort in that. I stood in the rain for you all. Michael Knowles in the elevator. I think it was. I think it was. Yeah. Okay. So let's say hello to everybody in the chat. Then we're going to get to the news. Lots of news once again. Interesting stuff coming from Thabo and Becky today. I just released a video on that. That just got published. And then more stuff coming out of South Africa, stuff from Greenland, the earthquake in Myanmar, a disaster there. The country already beset by an illegal military putsch overthrew the government, the Democratic elected government a few years ago. Another consequence of Joe Biden's feckless foreign policy. It just goes on and on. Of course, here in the States, lots happening with the tariffs taking effect here in just a couple of days. And the global meltdown economically, we'll see if it comes or if people start behaving themselves. John Greenlease, hello to you. Reporting off our cons on the Sightlanders platform that the U.S. is investigating Senate military base in Botswana. I think it is misinformation. A military base, where are they getting that information? First off, South Africans think there's a U.S. military base in Botswana to begin with, so why would we set one up? They think that Tebe Patso Air Base is an American base. It's not. You don't have to believe me, but go there for yourself. How important is the Cape of Sea route concerning all that's going on? Not really important at all. So the question with the sea route means the only time it becomes important is if it's interdicted, if it's stopped. Who's going to interdict the Cape Sea route? The Chinese? They don't have that projection. The French, the Brits, they're not our enemies. Well, sometimes they're not enemies. Who? South Africa's Navy? They can't even put their submarines to sea or their cruisers. I mean, I watched it in Durban, leave the harbor to go out 30 minutes, turn around, they went like 5 kilometers out sea, turned on, came back, only so they could get sea pay. Who's going? So the people overstate the importance of South Africa and the sea lanes. Oh, it's so important. It's only important if someone can interdict it, or if the oceans shrink and there's no water there. There's no importance whatsoever. The United States Navy can patrol those sea lanes. We already do that. Not so much around Cape Good Hope, but certainly around the Straits of Mozambique. And, of course, on the east coast of Africa, we have a heavy presence here with CTF 150 and 146. Those lanes don't matter at all. Now, the base at Simonstown could be useful, but not for the U.S. Navy. I mean, only not for all of its ships. The base is not sufficient to handle most of our shipping. It can handle some of it, some of our light cruisers and corvettes, but not much else, or subs maybe. Anyway, so yeah, so John Greenlease, no, I don't, I've never, this thing on the Sightlanders, I didn't see that. Didn't see that. Peter Liebenberg, welcome to Virtual Western Cape. Rulinda Engelbrecht, Gideon Maloney, and Victor Hugo says, Hallo Mensa, wat denk jullie van André Frederick Serfontein? Why are you asking about people's questions in Brickmerke here? Okay. Chana, okay, Jules. Ricardo Lafleur. I think you're more South African than us. I think Ricardo's talking to me. Okay. Hey, Garrett, what's going on, man? Pete Fundamava, hello to you. Nod Small. Great video information on the U.S. Embassy interview update, okay? If I understand correctly, the same people went for this. Yes, that's correct. There was a person who went for their second interview. Again, this isn't a refugee interview. This is preliminary information gathering. So again, it's a good sign. But this time it was embassy personnel, according to the person that was interviewed, not a team from D.C. Yolandi Smith, Karen Durant, Mandy van Rooyen, Michael Dawson, Carlos Frede, Gerardo Steenkamp. Yeah, please become a subscriber. 420 people currently here, just 187 likes. What's up with that, man? Hit that like button. It's a Saturday. 7 days. Easy. Yeah, that was easy. 7 days a week, I bust my tail. I work really hard to bring you the unvarnished, the unfiltered, the facts, the truth. You can decide for yourself. I'll give you my analysis, but you can take it or leave it. That's your prerogative. Chantel, trust me, the trolls don't like my analysis. They leave it. Truth is available. Dr. Clue, Ina Bates, Anthony van Bleck, and who else we got there? Dara D, welcome to you. Martin Williams and Bernard. I agree with political instability is not healthy for us. I don't understand anything anymore. Hearing Kristen received the WhatsApp group message, knew all along this will only be for the white elite, can hardly pay my rent due to BE. Now I have to hustle for a plane ticket. What are you talking about, the white elite? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Kristen? What are you talking about? What white elite? What are you talking about? You knew all along. What have you know all along? What was the purpose of Morning Shut episode with Byron? Interview him. You didn't like him being interviewed? What's the purpose of your question, Marius? The response was overwhelmingly positive. Have you seen the comments? I mean, wow. Of course, most of it was positive for Byron. Nobody gave a shit about me. Oops. Crap about me doing the interview. They mostly thank Byron. So it was overwhelmingly positive for Byron. Didn't do much for me, except interrupt my day for an hour of my time. Tanya Walford, Ishet Stoltz, welcome. Jeremy D. from Indonesia. Antoinette Jared Horn. Sue Walsh is back. Creativeness. Yannicka Reinke said I could call her Janet, but I keep seeing Yannicka, so that's going to throw me off. Yannicki, excuse me. Yannicki. Linda Rasmus, welcome to you. Kevin K56, Candace Streetum. Wayne Mare, Hank Duploy, El Marie, Rui, William, Debaram, Jarethra Haman. I was looking at the flights today, family of 5, looking at 80,000. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. Giselle is so gospel. Okay. Mau, Virtual Western Cape, Julie, Alfonso Ferreira, Jan van Driel, welcome to you. Timothy Cupertis, Yolanda, Heinrich Havanga. I think you should have some shirts made with the FEMA logo and tent army. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay, and then free of charge. Okay, well, thank you for that. Please tell me. Pied Crow, hopefully American girls look as great as Afrikaans girls. Actually, they look better. Go listen to Pink's Trust Fall. Describe exactly how they feel about this transition to America. Who is Pink's Trust Fall? Pink's Trust Fall. It's a song. Okay, never heard of them. Okay. Could do with a braai, says Nico. I could do with a braai. Mari says, just declared Byron from Morning Shot persona non grata. I just described simple. Don't call my people lazy if they built this country. Who did he say? Oh, you mean in the interview when I talked about people and their expectations? He said that. Well, Marius, that's been his experience. I mean, he hires people and they have expectations. It's, one of the misnomers here is that only caterers have expectations, but where Byron's coming from, you have to understand where he's coming from. He's in business to make a profit, and people make demands that are unreasonable. They're not providing. And what I said is, you have to look at revenue generated per employee. That's why I have no employees. There's no revenue generated. I can't run a business where I don't make money. So I have no employees. It's all me. Marius, you're welcome to feel offended, but you shouldn't feel offended. It wasn't directed at you. He was stating the people that came to work for him. So I was a little surprised he said that, but that's his prerogative. When Mare, hello, Sarita Flip, Lindy Dutoy. They live here by FEMA tents. Psycho Billy, what's up, my fellow Neanderthals, K9 dogs, happy FEMA campers, trolls, soon to be Russell, race baiters, and our favorite right-wing podcaster. I love it. That's a nice welcome there, Psycho Billy. Where are my timestamps? I can't see when you guys are writing this stuff. It's very annoying. All right, there we go. So, better than Blessed Bridges, okay? Wesley from Ock, how you doing, man? All right. Love this song. Okay, cool. Catching up here. Now, Lindy DeToy. I wonder if Tom McDonald knows he has fans and stuff. Oh, well, he does because I've been pimping him and so is Hendo for a couple years now. Yep. Tractor Champ. What's going on, Petro Jakobsen, CDKTC? What did I just click on? I don't know. What'd you just click on? Peter LaGrange. Love the song. Okay. Sandre De Beer. Mark Dow, welcome to you. Hugo Basson, AJ Quinn, Sue Walsh. Great hearing the song again. Yeah, it's a cool song. Saw a video of you after a third of you. Okay. I got you. That's what I saw at the beginning. Not a happy camper. Jared Horn, can't wait to be part of the Stars and Stripes. Kevin Motham, Leon Lottigan's back. He's an original gangster, but this channel from way back when, but he disappeared for a long time, busy out in the bush, hunting lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Andrew Bernard, welcome to you. And who else we got here? Susan Koster. Maria says, if he hires people and their contracts is mentioned, if you're on probation for 3 months, majority of the time, we over-exceed expectations when it comes to payday and permanent contracts. Okay. Is Hendo here? I don't know. I want to say thank you for all the work. Yeah, Hendo does an amazing job. There's Hendo right there. Look at that, Hendo. You just got to thank you. Didn't take Byron personally. I only got one pay raise in 10 years. According to the boss, I'm the one carrying the company. Well, there you go, Heinrich. Wow. No, but there's an expectation. People, I mean, I've seen it. I mean, look, if Marius, at the risk of offending you, which is not my intent, I've seen it. There are white South Africans who think they're entitled to crap because they're white, that they're better than other people. That's a statement of fact. It's true. There are people like that. And there are black South Africans who feel the same way. I don't meet many coloreds who feel that way. They're usually self-deprecating. But it's a statement of fact, man. I've seen it. I didn't know he was a martial arts expert either. That came out in the conversation. I didn't know that. My brother sent me a message. He lives in Bloemfontein. The military is sending invitation to all soldiers joining the reserve up to the age 65. That is interesting. That is interesting. G.A. Langley says, enjoy the interview with Byron. Didn't know he's a martial arts person. Seen Tom McDonald's song in a few places. I love it, especially when you're emotion. Give it so much more context. Yeah, I hit it hard, don't I? That's right. You can't cancel all of us. You're welcome to try. Chaos Juggler, good evening. I hope you're well. I'm doing very well. Let's get to the news, folks, before everybody disappears on us. 1,000 views, 266 likes, 441 people currently here. It's a weekend. What else are you watching? All right, here we go. Feeling I get from Morning Shot is, okay. Well, some people say I'm a know-it-all, but I do know it all. But on the rare occasions I've got something wrong, I've admitted it on air. Only get an increase when things are flying. Generally, I'll take a pay cut if benefits the company. Yep. Let's make news great again. Yeah, let's, RJ. Let's make news again. Just heard from wife of white boy that died in school after his inhaler was confiscated. No. What the hell? No, Neanderthal, I haven't heard about that. Why in the world would anybody confiscate an inhaler? Those people need to go to jail. That's negligent. That's manslaughter. Ronald Poland, who gets in trouble sitting hours and watching you? Yeah, I find real. I'm not going to ask if people watch too much of Chris Wyatt. That would just be done. It's Angry Bird Lady. She's back. Angry Bird Lady. Feel sorry for military. I do feel sorry for them too. Marius, British versus bullcrap. Okay, gotcha. I understand where you're coming from now. Yeah, it's definitely manslaughter. That's manslaughter. Took a child's inhaler and the child died. What the heck? That's just messed up. When you have time, the latest interview that Colonel Vanant had was very interesting. I would love to hear your views on the interview, especially. Who did he interview, Van? Thank you for sharing that. Right, let me get to the news here, folks. All right, so Elon Musk has sold Twitter. What? Elon Musk sold Twitter? Yep, he sold it. He sold Twitter. Did you hear about that? Yes, Elon Musk has sold Twitter. News broke last night, folks. Last night the news broke. He sold Twitter to himself. Yeah, hang on. To XAI. Yes, he has another company called XAI. He sold it to another company, that he owns. But he did sell Twitter. No, it's true, Angry Bird Lady. No, you guys are laughing, but he did sell. It's a true story. Let's get to that story. Elon Musk has sold Twitter. This is not fake news. Yep. Elon Musk on Friday evening announced he sold his social media company X to XAI, his artificial intelligence company. XAI will pay $45 billion for X, slightly more than he paid for it 3 years ago. But the deal includes $12 billion in new debt. XAI and X's futures are intertwined. Today, we officially take the step to combine the data, models, compute, distribution, and talent. This combination will unlock immense potential by blending XAI's advanced AI capability and expertise with X's massive reach. While X's valuation is lower than what Musk paid for it, it's still a reversal of fortunes for the company. Investment firm Fidelity estimated in October that X was worth nearly 80% less than when Musk bought it. By December, X had recovered somewhat, but was still only worth about 30% of what he paid for it. The news comes as Musk has been in the spotlight for his role at the Department of Defense's government efficiency. He's been working to establish himself as a leader in AI space. Big advertisers would largely abandon X after hate speech served on the platform, which is a lie. Hate speech was always there. It was just the leftists with their hate speech. And ads were seen running alongside pro-Nazi content, and they all run alongside pro-communist content, have begun to return. Yep. Amazon and Apple both reinvesting their X advertising campaigns again. The brand stabilization helped a group of bondholders who had been deep underwater in their investments sell billions of dollars of their X debt at 97 cents on the dollar. Bloomberg in February reported that X was in talks to raise money that would value the company at $44 billion. It's not clear what came of those talks and why XAI is valuing X at less than it could reportedly fetch from investors. X needs to pay down its massive debt load, which Musk said Friday totals $12 billion. A big part of why X's valuation has rebounded in recent months is XAI, which has reportedly held a stake in it. Last month, they were seeking $75 billion valuation. Wow. But the biggest factor in the bounce back is Elon Musk himself. Yep, investors are betting that Elon Musk will take this company to higher heights. Oh, there you go, folks. So XAI, there you go. No, it's not just debt restructuring. They're actually putting cash in there. Former President Thabo Mbeki says that South Africa needs good relations with the United States. What? What? Former President Thabo Mbeki said he was not surprised that Ibrahim Rasool, the former ambassador, the fool, was expelled by the Trump administration. He spoke at Unisaw in Pretoria on Friday. He said the post of ambassador has particular restrictions, conventions which govern the behavior of diplomats. Ibrahim Rasool was an old friend and comrade of mine, but I think in this instance he made a mistake and said things about his host president that he should not have said. When I saw this and saw the persona non grata, I was not surprised. And Thabo Mbeki's right. Shouldn't be surprised. Well, he isn't always a voice of reason. He's the guy that denied AIDS. Remember, AIDS is caused by poverty. Dr. Beetroot will tell you to eat lots of beetroot. And then you get all better. Please. Please, please, please. Well, South Africa is scrambling to avoid the disaster, the looming crisis coming from the breach in relations that it has caused with the United States while it claims the United States has done it. Lies, lies, lies. South Africa's working to reset U.S. relations have been under assault by Donald Trump since his return to the White House. Well, Montlanto will be the next one to call for a voice of reason. We'll wait and see. South Africa is committed to normalize U.S. relations, but must also diversify trade partners. So says Parks Towell, the so-called proponent of the black tax, the racist tax that South Africa wants to apply to South African businesses. Parks Towell emphasized South Africa's commitment to normalize relations with the U.S. and also advocated for diversified trade partnerships. Since Donald Trump's return to the White House, the U.S. has taken a protectionist America First stance in international trade, starting tariff wars and looking to upend multilateral global trade system. Furthermore, Washington has taken an aggressive stance in South Africa, fueled by right-wing disinformation, leading to a cut in American aid and imperiling South Africa's continued participation in the African Growth and Opportunity Act. And Jan Gerber, you are a propagandist. You are a misinformation. You are a disinformation spreader. America's not taking an aggressive stance towards South Africa. That's quite the opposite. South Africa's taking an aggressive stance towards the United States, with Zikalala from the NEC rubbishing in America. Fikile Mbalula calling us a neo-colonialist, imperialist, and calling us names. Ibrahim Rasool saying our president is the head of a global white supremacist movement and calling Americans racist. And your president saying they will not be intimidated, will not be bullied. The actions are coming from your cockmouth politicians, not from us. The only thing Trump did was suspend aid on January 20th. And what did South Africa do? Look over here. We're being attacked. Did Bangladesh say that? No. Did Kenya say that? No. Did Gaza say that? The Palestinians get billions of dollars from Americans. Even they didn't say that in the midst of a conflict. They didn't whine about it. But no, South Africa, woe is me. Oh, over here. Woe is me. Oh. Well, you started it. Deal with it. Wow. Jan Gerber, this is disinformation. What aggressive stance towards South Africa? Aggressive stance. How can these asswipes continue to lie in News 24 with this garbage? Aggressive stance. What exactly do you call Ibrahim Rasool calling the president of the United States the leader of a global what global white supremacy movement? Tell us where they meet at. In the Meadows? Fortnightly? With Colonel Sanders? Before he went tits up? The Gettys? The Rothschilds? The Freemasons? Where exactly does this happen at? Jan Gerber? Tell me where this happens at. This global white supremacy movement. Tell me where it's at. Tell me where it's at. It's all bullshit. Yes, turn your volume down, Eugene. That's fine. I don't care if you turn your volume down. That's your prerogative, buddy. What a bunch of crock of nonsense. What a crock of nonsense. What a crock of nonsense. The U.S. is aggressive motion. And this is a lie. This is disinformation. Oh, that sounded like a drone outside. It's somebody cutting grass. Disinformation. AGOA has been under threat long before Trump came to office. AGOA is a 5-year law. It gets renewed every 5 years if Congress agrees to it. Congress has been saying since last year they're not going to renew AGOA. That affects everybody, not just the whiny South African politicians. Good Lord. Stupid lies in the media. Well, folks, South Africa's parliament, which was left unguarded for days on end in the holiday season and torched by some wackadoodle, was going to cost $2 billion to repair. Well, now the bill is $3.3 billion rand. Imagine this, a poor assessment. Parliament has defended the escalation of costs for restoration and rebuilding the institution's buildings, which were gutted by fire on January 2022, saying the project was complex and was not coming from the ground. The escalation of costs from the initial $2 billion estimate, now $3 billion, was laid bare on Friday before the institution's political leaders and officials appeared before the portfolio committee that plays oversight over the national legislature. A presentation made at the meeting showed that the cost has ballooned to $3.3 billion. Wow. Well, there you go. So once again, hardly surprised. Podcast, thank you for your membership. Wow. The Democratic Alliance has blasted the Kill the Boer ruling, and Freedom Front Plus says white South Africans buried apartheid hatchet decades ago. Hey, Hussein here. Welcome. The DA has condemned the Constitutional Court's idiotic decision to dismiss AfriForum's bid to have the apartheid-era Kill the Boer song declared hate speech. On Thursday, the court denied the leave to appeal against the 2022 ruling, which found the song does not constitute hate speech. The inflammatory Kill the Boer chant has no place in our society regardless of any legal ruling and its constitutionality. That song continues to be sung by EFF leader Joseph Blame and other political figures as deeply troubling and unacceptable. The DA contends the song often chanted at political rallies incites violence rather than serving as a historical relic. Meanwhile, the Freedom Front Plus has also rebuked the ruling, saying it validates hate speech against minority. The party said the lyrics historically associated with militant struggle are inappropriate and democracy striving for reconciliation. The white people of South Africa buried the apartheid hatchet more than 30 years ago and reached out to their fellow countrymen, hoping to build a prosperous country in the spirit of forgiveness. But obviously, that's not what is wanted by Julius Malema and their race-hustling slimeballs. And I didn't see where the super chat came up, Lucina. Thank you for the 10-pound super chat. Very kind of you. So on his channel, he's talking about his buka, about 1 hour mark. He has some opinions what USA might have planned with South. Very interesting analysis. All right. Okay. I'm upsetting the cats. I'm upsetting the dogs. Upsetting the pets of people tuned in. I never said Byron was a spokesman for the Afrikaners. He never was. And whites aren't Afrikaners. Some whites are Afrikaners. Some are Portuguese. Some are German. Some are English. Oh, yes, Joja Fundabev, it was intentional. They want to provoke the United States government. That's what the ANC... Look, I've been saying this. And you can go back and find someone that said this before I did. Mid-February, around the 15th of February, 6 weeks ago, I began to ask the question, is South Africa intentionally trying to provoke a response from the United States? It seems to be the only reason why they're behaving the fashion they're behaving. They're trying to get a response. They want one. They want to play the victim here. They want to play the victim. Now, I've been saying for a long time. Big cracks form in the government of national unity over the budget. The DA demands the ANC scrap the Expropriation Act in exchange for a VAT hike. Whoa, that's big news. Ernst just gave a 100 Rand super chat. Thank you for the excellent updates. You're welcome. So the DA is standing up finally. They're finally saying something about expropriation. It's about damn time. Apparently, according to this news report by Camelo Machabodu, his picture's not there today. Yeah, they're on a collision course that threatens to tear apart the less than 1 year old formation. ANC has refused to accede to the DA's demands on having a say. The DA wants to change things that are not part of the budget. They want to scrap the Expropriation Act. Wow. Cray cray. Hillbilly skeptic is back. Trump is giving the ANC a binary choice: liberty and prosperity, or communism and decline. Independence and immigration, maybe the free mind's only choice. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Hillbilly skeptic. Yeah, so we are more than happy to interact with Parliament and discuss the modalities if there are any change in the budget, provided these changes are confined to a debate about the budget. Wow. So the DA told the IOL that it was not a secret that they have been negotiating with the ANC over measures to remove obstacles to the creation of economic growth and jobs. It's a pity that the finance minister made a hack job of the process in the first place, now trying to negotiate in bad faith through the media when we were doing so in good faith through the channels created for this and without being honest about the fact that we call for the reduction in tax in the next 3 years. Wow. So the DA says they actually try to reduce taxes in the future, and this is the first time they're disclosing it. Defections are affecting the Inkatha Freedom Party, folks. They're gaining followers. Half the new members are coming from the EFF. As I said, the EFF is destroyed in KwaZulu-Natal but not just by MK, but also by IFP. The IFP's campaign for local government elections received a major boost when the party welcomed more than 150 new members from various political parties in Durban. Half the members who joined IFP came from the EFF. Wow. Others came from the DA, ATM, and the ANC. The new members were welcomed at Durban Manor Hotel on Friday by KZN IFP chairperson, provincial premier Tommy Ntuli. Wow. So it's an interesting story there. And Petro Jakobsen, your super chat didn't come up. 140 Rand. What's going on with that? Thank you for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. South Africa's digital TV disaster. The set-top boxes that they've ordered don't work, apparently. Wow. The North Gauteng High Court suspended the 31 March analog switch-off deadline, and South African communications regulator says many of the set-top boxes sponsored by the state are faulty. Many of them were produced in 2015, and many of them have become faulty. According to ICASA, many stakeholders involved in the transition to digital terrestrial television are concerned about the viability of the transition. So, once again, not ready. Not ready. Not ready for prime time, South Africa. Ramaphosa has announced a new state-owned company. Communism doesn't work. State-owned companies fail. So let's create more of them. Yeah, that's the answer. Let's steal more of the private sector and take it to depths yet to be plumbed. Wow. So the ANC creates another state-owned company. Seriously? I mean, how many times do you have to see they don't work? Airports Company South Africa, Transnet, Eskom, South African Airways, Denel, Arms Corps, Sasol. What the hell do you need? Do you need more proof for it? Do you need Postnet? Yeah. President Ramaphosa says a new state-owned enterprise for water is expected to be operational next year. Don't hold your breath on that. You'll go dry. Speaking of the National Water and Sanitation Endowment, the president said that the hope is to finalize the establishment of the National Water Resource Infrastructure Agency, NWIRIA. That will be one of the most significant reforms coming in the sector to date. No, it won't. No, it won't. How about what you do is you simply stop stealing water from landowners and let them have property that they own, their water and their minerals, and then everything will go back to normal. And finish the Highlands Water Project that you little pocket thieves stole all the money from. Yeah, phase 2, 3, and 4. That'd be a good idea. Now, this guy was only briefly funny. I find him repulsive, and he is a piece of slimy, filthy human sludge. And I think that people should just boycott him. I don't really boycott people, but I'll tell you, this guy needs a factory reset. He needs a PK, he needs a factory reset. He ought to smack himself in the head so that he resets his, because his needle's stuck in the groove of the fence. So this is the latest from Sapiro in the Daily Maverick. His latest advert, and this is just pathetic, to say the very least. At last, the perfect South African ambassador, Marco Rubio, made to look like some kind of Latin American dictator, Trump wearing Nazi regalia, and Elon Musk standing there with SS, a decapitated South African ambassador. What a pathetic individual. What a pathetic individual Zapiro is. Useless. Well, Telecom has closed a 6.75 billion Rand deal, but I'm puzzled what their attempt is here. They're selling their masts and towers. So how are they going to communicate? They're going to have to pay for this now? Telecom has concluded the sale of its mast and tower business, SwiftNet, to a consortium led by Actis and Royal Bafokeng Holdings. Hey, those Swana people in the Northwest know how to use their money. Platinum, now telecommunications. The Competition Tribunal Independent Communications Authority approved the proposed sale last year. The transaction enables us to pursue growth opportunities aligned with our data-led growth strategy, strengthen our position in South Africa's digital backbone. Well, how can you be the digital backbone when you sold all your masts and towers? I don't understand that. I really don't understand. How does a telecommunications company make money when they don't own the network that they are operating on? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The racist is here. You can leave, or you can shut up, or you can talk like an adult. Racists aren't welcome here, whether they're black or white. So Bye-bye, troll. Bye-bye. You've not been blocked. Give you another chance to be an adult. If you don't want to be an adult, you'll be sent packing. Meantime, I would recommend that, I don't know, you're left-handed or you're right-handed. Whichever hand you've got a grip on your member, release it. That'll allow the blood to flow back to your brain so you can think. All right? Okay, so moving right along. Speaking of blood flowing to your brain, here's a person whose blood doesn't flow to her brain very often. That's Kanana Hunter. Attacking Rob Hersoff, among others, in this hatchet piece from the 26th of March. We are witnessing a concerted effort to undo the progress of the past few decades, driven by those who refuse to accept that the balance of power must shift in favor of equality and justice for all. Except that that's a total lie, Kanana Hunter. Equality and justice for all, while you're discriminating, you have racial laws. That's not equality and justice. That's segregation and racism. Not long ago, it would have been unimaginable for a white person in South to openly argue that black people rely on black economic empowerment because they're afraid to compete against white excellence in academic achievements. Yet Rob Hersoff did just that. Yeah. So, if people aren't afraid to compete, then why do you need BEE? Why do you need BEE then, Kanana Hunter? Please. By the way, you're not black. Did you miss that part? Maybe your hijab threw you off. You're confused. Wow. Without hesitation, he sought to convince the public that black empowerment is theft. Expropriation without compensation is theft. Well, expropriation without compensation is theft. How can you say it's not? How can you say that taking private property from people? Oh, by the way, why are you fixated on white people? You think this is going to be restricted to white people, Kanana Hunter? Do you honestly believe this is going to be restricted to white people? You're not very bright if you think that's the case. Just like the Nazis. They're going to come for the Jews. They're going to come for the communists. They're going to come for the socialists. They're going to come for the gays. They're going to come for the mixed race. They're going to come for the nobility. They're going to come for the Catholics. And then when they come for you, Kanana Hunter, you'll have nothing to say. There'll be nobody to defend you there. You defend racism and bigotry and attack the people who are trying to end racism and bigotry. This is pathetic. Alongside him, numerous individuals, some of whom have drawn inspiration from figures like Elon Musk, who are increasingly vocal in their opposition to South Africa's transformation efforts. There's no transformation and there's no diversity. Show me the diversity in the ANC's NEC. Show me the diversity. Where are the Indians? Where are the Mac Maharajas of today? Where are the whites? Where are the Ronnie Casrils of today? Barbara Creasy? There's no diversity. Exclusion is what the order of the day is by the South African government. And they're going to try to say, well, the GNU is full of white people. No, it's not. You got a handful of white people in the DA and one or two in the Action and say, that's it. There's no diversity here. Your transformation is theft. Kanana Hunter, yeah, she writes this garbage with a straight face. Unbelievable. Musk himself claims in his stance that South Africa's policies is personal. Yeah, well, Kanana Hunter is full of it. She's full of it. This is disgraceful. Musk claims that his stance against South Africa's policies is personal. Starlink can't get a license to operate because I'm black, not black. How is that right? When in fact it's simply government policy that foreign investment must include. Yeah, well, you're right. What Musk said is incorrect. So that means that people who oppose racially exclusive or handing equity over to people based on skin color are wrong. Just because Elon Musk got this fact wrong. Yeah, it's not because he's exaggerating. But the bottom line is that he can't get a license. Well, number one, he hasn't applied. You don't mention that. He hasn't even bothered to apply. Starlink hasn't even applied for licenses out there. They just didn't bother because of the requirement. So that's the first thing. So he'd have to apply for it first. Second, then he has to give equity over to people based on their skin color. You don't think that's racist? You think that's appropriate? You think that's right? Wow. You want us to give you money to build your economy, and then you steal it from us. Whether we're white or black, it doesn't matter. A black person investing in South Africa from outside South Africa still has to give 30% of the equity to a black South African. Stupid, stupid, stupid, stupid. Wow. Hersoff is clearly pursuing a right-wing agenda, one he would openly endorse. He contends that South Africa is a critical juncture and advocates for battle against socialism. His vision calls for free markets, deregulation, unyielding focus on economic growth. Notice how Kanana Hunter calls free markets, deregulation, and an unyielding focus on economic growth to be right-wing? These are liberal ideas. Liberal ideas. Free markets, deregulation, unyielding focus are liberalism. They are classical liberalism. These people are so stupid who publish in South Africa's media. They call that right-wing. It's because they're so far left they can't see anything. Oh my goodness. Wow. Emboldened by populist rhetoric. No, these are statements of fact. Wow. She cites George Floyd, a man who caused his own demise. Oh, enough of this. I'm not going to, it's vomit-inducing. And I'm not going to report on South Africa's oil reserves. They're empty. And I'm not going to report on the registration fees for Eskom. That's ridiculous. And I'm not going to report on the warning. Oh, yeah, I will report on this. Eskom is being warned about their emissions from the Minister of Forestries, Fisheries, and Environment, Dion George, the DA, leftist greenie. Leftist greenie. Leftist greenie. Urban Grooves Temple. Why do you need attention? You'll get your attention here. You haven't been blocked. Stop your crying. Nobody's blocked you. What are you crying about over there? Nobody's blocked you. Stop your whining. All right. Yeah, so the DA is telling Eskom they better not get over the emissions. The government cannot grant Eskom a blanket waiver to continue polluting without accountability. Wow. Wow. So the DA doesn't care about electricity and economic growth or people freezing in wintertime. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Hunderttausende demonstrierten gegen Erdogan in der Türkei. Die Frankfurter Allgemeine hat die folgende. Zahlreiche Menschen versammeln sich in Istanbul, ihren Unmut wegen der Inhaftung des Bürgermeisters Ekrem İmamoğlu kundzutun. Der Chef der größten Oppositionspartei kündigte dabei wöchentliche Proteste an. 100,000 people protesting in the streets of Istanbul against the dictator for life, Erdogan. Wow. In der Türkei haben sich am Samstag zu den Protesten der Opposition in Istanbul gegen die Regierung von Präsident Recep Tayyip Erdogan Hunderttausende Menschen versammelt. Die Menschen kamen zusammen, nach der Inhaftierung des Bürgermeisters am 19. März. So over 100,000 protesters showed up in Istanbul to protest against the arrest of the mayor of Istanbul. It seems the majority and minority have different views of the apartheid revolution. Communism by democracy, Republican liberty. Well, it's not just the Frankfurter Allgemeine, but also Le Monde. Turquie. Des centaines de milliers de manifestants se rassemblement à Istanbul pour défendre la démocratie et l'opposant Ekrem İmamoğlu. L'arrestation du maire d'Istanbul le 19 mars a déclenché une vague de protestations interdites en plus d'une décennie à travers le pays, mobilisant des dizaines de milliers de manifestants chaque soir dans les rues jusqu'à lundi. Jusqu'à lundi. Wow. Hundreds of thousands of people protesting streets up through Monday is the plan. Plusieurs centaines de milliers de personnes participèrent à une manifestation massive de l'opposition sur la rive asiatique d'Istanbul samedi le 29 mars pour défendre la démocratie après l'arrestation du maire de la ville. Wow. Hundreds of thousands of people attending these protests in Turkey. Meanwhile, in Myanmar, this is hectic, folks. Have you seen these videos coming out of Myanmar? Buildings collapsing, shocking stuff. Ooh, look at that. That is hectic. That is hectic. That's in Myanmar. Magnitude 7.7 earthquake ravages Myanmar. The death toll now in excess of 1,600. 1,600. Myanmar's military rulers led in hundreds of foreign rescue personnel on Saturday after an earthquake killed more than 1,600 people. Yep. Death toll was 1,644, according to the military. Survivors in Mandalay, the second biggest city, dug their bare hands on Friday in desperate attempts to save those still trapped. At least one woman was rescued. Rescue operations continue at the site of a 33-story tower's collapse where 47 people were missing or trapped under the rubble. There's the fault line in all of the earthquakes since 1900. Nothing but earthquakes there. The Sagang Fault. Airports are closed. 2,900 buildings, 30 roads, and 7 bridges damaged by the quake. Wow. Look at that. 7.7. Hit right in Mandalay, man. Hit it hard. Right in the center of the place. Yeah, the shock waves from this quake went around the world. It's insane what happened with this earthquake. Danish foreign minister scorns the tone of J.D. Vance's Greenland visit. Denmark's foreign minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen criticized the tone used by U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and his claims that Copenhagen underinvested in Greenland during an unwarranted visit he made to the island, which Trump said is hoping one day to take over. Well, Greenland has been underinvested in. Yep. Dear American friends, we agree that status quo in Arctic is not an option. So let's talk about how we can fix it together. Now they want to talk. Now the Danes want to talk after ignoring Greenland for decades.
I have a message for our American friends and all others who are listening. Much is being said these days. Many accusations and many allegations have been made. And of course, we are open to criticism. But let me be completely honest. We do not appreciate the tone in which is being delivered. This is not how you speak to your close allies. And I still consider Denmark and the United States to be close allies. We respect that the United States needs a greater military presence in Greenland, as Vice President Vance mentioned this evening. We, Denmark and Greenland, are very much open to discussing this with you, with an open mind. We still have the defense agreement from 1951. It offers ample opportunity for the United States to have a much stronger military presence in Greenland. If that is what you wish, then let us discuss it. In 1945, the United States had 17 bases and military installations in Greenland with thousands of soldiers. Today, only one American base is left, the one Vice President Vance visited a few hours ago, and something like 200 soldiers. We can do more, much more, within the framework we have today. Let us make use of that, and let us do it together. The Vice President also stated that Denmark has done too little in the Arctic. The other day, he said that the United States has also done too little. And the fact is that we have all been harvesting the peace dividend. We all acted on the assumption that the Arctic was and should be a low-tension area. But that time is over. Status quo is not an option. And that is why we have stepped up as well. With $1 billion investment in Arctic security just a few weeks ago, an investment that will provide more drones, more ships, more personnel, and more will come later this year. And let us not forget, Greenland is part of NATO. Today, NATO's security guarantee also covers Greenland.
Yeah, the problem with this, of course, is this guy's full of crap. He's full of crap. First off, Denmark has not been spending sufficient money on national defense. Part of NATO? Really? What have you contributed to NATO? You've underdefended Greenland for decades. Left it to us to do. You capitulated the Germans in 1940, rolled over like little biatches and took it up the backside, and we defended Greenland. You've left Greenland and the Arctic sea lanes undefended for decades, and you've underspent on your defense, leeching off the United States, which has spent an excessive amount of money on defense. We spend $900 billion a year, and over half that is defending Europe. Half that is defending Europe. What do you spend to defend Greenland? Well, nothing. Oh, look, I got bleeding on my cheek there. Look at that. Huh. That's not good. Wow, I'm so upset my cheek started bleeding. Look at that, folks. Yeah, look at that. So angry that it started bleeding. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't buy it. You didn't spend anything. You were asked during the last Trump administration to put money into Greenland and defend the Arctic sea lanes. You did nothing. Only when Trump threatened to take over Greenland did you suddenly cough up $1 billion to buy 3 ships. So full of it. So full of it. Trump's threats have got these people off their ass to start doing something. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. Sorry, Greenland, but not buying your fairy tale story here. All right, moving right along. J.D. Vance arrived in Greenland, and, well, that kind of pissed the Danes off. He says, it's cold as crap here. Nobody told me. Well, I don't get that. You don't know how cold it is? You live in Ohio? He said Air Force Two flew over some pretty cool spots, approaching the northern coast of the world's largest island before he sat down for lunch with some of the roughly 150 U.S. troops at the space base. And there he is, wearing a parka. Here he is with his wife. Mike Waltz apparently joined them for the trip. The dog sled trip was knocked off. They didn't do it. Well, a judge has blocked the president's efforts to shut down the unconstitutional Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the brainchild of Elizabeth Warren, an extra-legal, extra-constitutional, illegitimate, corrupt organization that collects data on Americans and spies on all Americans illegally. This corrupt organization was created in the aftermath of the financial crisis induced by the actions of Congress through their negligence during the subprime market behavior. And as a consequence, Congress oppressed us by stealing our consumer information, our personal data, and spying on us and using that against Americans. This unconstitutional agency, the brainchild of Pocahontas, must be obliterated, must be destroyed. It cannot exist outside the government. It is not a legitimate body. And this corrupt judge, the same one we've seen before, who ran her mouth, Amy Berman Jackson. A federal judge ordered a halt to attempts by President Trump to dismantle the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a independent government agency charged with investigating and preventing financial malpractice, except that's not what it does. It harms Americans. On Friday, U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson granted a request from employees, advocates, and union representatives to issue a preliminary injunction preventing the Bureau from being shuttered while court proceedings continue. The court cannot look away, or the CFPB will dissolve and dismantle completely in approximately 30 days, well before this lawsuit has come to its conclusion. Well, it's been a target of conservatives because it's illegal. It violates the Constitution. Another near miss, folks. Another near miss. Another near miss. Wow. Delta plane and near miss with Air Force jet at the same D.C. airport where 67 died in mid-air collision. The Delta Airlines plane carrying 136 passengers nearly collided with a military jet on Friday afternoon outside the D.C. at Reagan Airport, where 67 people died in January. Incident occurred on Friday afternoon as Delta Flight 2983, an Airbus A319 carrying 131 passengers and 5 crew members prepared to take off from Reagan Airport. Simultaneously, 4 Air Force T-38 Talon supersonic jet trainers were approaching the airport for a scheduled flyover of Arlington National Cemetery. Wow. FAA is now investigating it. Gee, crickets. DC needs to get their airspace figured out. Representative Jasmine Crockett, a evil, vile troll from Texas, insulted the disabled, calling Texas Governor Greg Abbott Governor Hot Wheels because he's confined to a wheelchair. This repulsive shrew should be censured and removed from the House of Representatives by her colleagues. Columbia University interim president has stepped down. Katrina Armstrong will be returning to lead the university's Irving Medical Center. Clara Shipman, the Board of Trustees co-chair, will assume the role at this corrupt educational institution. So, good riddance. Shut it down. Well, here's another person. This is what happens when you defraud banks. Startup founder convicted of defrauding J.P. Morgan Chase out of $175 million by faking her success. Charlie Javis, the charismatic founder of a startup company that claimed to be revolutionizing the way college students apply for financial aid, was convicted Friday of defrauding one of the world's largest banks out of $175 million by exaggerating their customer base tenfold. The jury returned the verdict after a 5-week trial in federal court. The 32-year-old and her co-defendant, Olivia Amar, faced the possibility of decades in prison in a case that has drawn comparisons to Toronto's founder, Elizabeth Holmes. She appeared sullen at the defense table as the verdict was read. was in mid-20s when she founded Frank, a company with software that promised to simplify the arduous process of filling out free application for student loan aid. Well, why is it arduous? I applied for student aid. It took me 10 minutes. What's arduous? Are these stupid people? Maybe they shouldn't be at university. They can't fill out financial aid forms. Wow. She told the company that she had 4 million clients when she had 300,000. Wow. Wow. Hillary Clinton blasts Donald Trump over the Signal text message saying stupidity and hypocrisy. So did you wipe the server? What, you mean like with a cloth? She blasts Donald Trump over Signal, which was forced into the government by Joe Biden. Hillary Clinton excoriated President Trump and his administration for their handling of the leak of the U.S. military attack plans to Atlantic editor Jeffrey Goldberg. It's not hypocrisy that bothers me, it's stupidity. She said, well, the stupidity is this troll. Would you just go away? Can't you just go to Haiti or something like that? I mean, they'll deal with you in Haiti. They love you in Haiti. Not. Yeah, this woman who stole classified, top secret Sense Department, she has no basis to talk with. She's lucky she's not in prison. She should have been in prison. Yep. America stands with Greenland, says Donald Trump. Yeah. Here's the new video.
In the cold silence of the tundra, a bond was born, not from treaties or trade, but from blood and bravery. While Germany controlled Europe, the Nazis set their sights on the Arctic. Greenland became an unwitting combatant, and the United States stepped in, not to conquer, but to protect. In 1943, nearly 1,000 American soldiers, with 4 chaplains, set sail from New York to Greenland, carrying with them hope, duty, and a quiet fear. But their ship was torpedoed by a Nazi U-boat, and the frigid waters of the North Atlantic became a grave. Those 4 chaplains gave up their life vests, giving their lives so that others might live, to protect America and Greenland. Their sacrifices helped win our freedom, and we will never forget. Together, Americans and Greenlanders stood as sentinels at the top of the world. But today, Greenland faces new threats. From Russian aggression and Chinese expansion, our shared legacy lives on in every joint mission, every Arctic patrol, every partnership forged in the shadow of melting ice and rising tensions. This is not just history, it is destiny. Now is the time to stand together again. For peace, for security, for the future, America stands with Greenland.
There you go, folks. America stands with Greenland. Yep. How is it people only now find this channel? Because of shadow banning. It's been shadow banned for years. Well, I have a couple op-eds here. One from Victor Davis Hanson about Democrats' response to losing profanity, chic, and terrorist porn. Democratic Party is polling at 27% approval rating and sinking. In 2024, it lost the White House, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and both the popular vote and Electoral College. In 2024, Donald Trump won over 46% of the Hispanic vote, including the majority of Hispanic men. Trump also likely captured 26% of the black male vote, doubling his 2020 total. He increased his vote total in every single state and won 89% of all the counties in the United States. In every issue, Democrats sided with the strident leftist movements rather than the majority of Americans. They supported globalism over nationalism, high-priced green energy over lower gas and electricity prices, and an open border and 12 million unaudited illegal aliens over security and legal-only immigration. They seem unconcerned with their $36 trillion debt or the deterrence lost abroad that led to 2 theater-wide existential wars. Democrats stay mum about unfair trade and the budget deficits. They prefer the Black Lives Matter fixation on the color of our skin rather than Dr. Martin Luther King's emphasis on the content of our character. They support allowing biological men to overpower women at female sports events in opposition to 80% of the electorate. Democrats face choices after their catastrophic defeat last year. They could have stopped the hemorrhaging of their base of 18 to 30-year-olds, black men, Hispanics, independents by moving towards the center. They could have worked with Trump and perhaps sought to take credit for joint success. Instead, they've doubled down on resistance through street theater, terror, chic. Democratic senators cut a group attack video, each echoing the potty word. Crap. In a House ad, Democratic female members mimicked ninjas, kicking and punching the camera as if they were hitting their Republican opponents. Former vice presidential candidate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz boasts about kicking the ass of Republicans. Butthole is now the standard Democratic epithet for Musk, as voiced by Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. Dick is the preferred Musk slur from Minnesota Senator Tina Smith. Xenophobia is now Democratic chic. Waltz smears Musk, an American citizen, as a South African Nepo baby. Other Democratic representatives question Musk's loyalty, asking which country is he loyal to. Or they further boast, we Democrats are going to send Elon Musk back to South Africa. An unhinged Maxine Waters shouts that she wants First Lady Melania Trump deported, given she too is a naturalized citizen. But those theatrics have now escalated into near overt support for violence. Democrats are blocking deportation of dangerous illegal aliens affiliated with terrorist-designated Tren de Agua. They try to stop the deportation of resident alien Mohammed Khalil, an arch Hamas supporter, apologist for the murders of October 7th, and spokesman for the most violent student group in Colombia. To stop Musk's advisory, Department of Government Efficiency and its identification of government waste, fraud, and abuse, leftist cabals are now terrorizing Musk Tesla brand nationwide. They seek to destroy cars, dealerships, and charging stations. Individual Tesla owners are sometimes tailed, confronted, and threatened. Democrats claim no formal role in such terror, but more or less seem to approve its ends and means. Left-wing comic Jimmy Kimmel's winks and nods on national television about the current violent Tesla terrorist campaign. Waltz celebrates the resulting drop in Tesla stock price. As Minnesota's governor overseeing the state's sizable investment in Tesla, Waltz could care less about trash-talking his own taxpayers' investments. Representative Jasmine Crockett boasts that Musk must be taken down. She brags she wants to physically assault Senator Ted Cruz, who has to be knocked over the head like hard, adding, I think you punch, I think you okay with punching. Crockett even mocked disabled, wheelchair-bound Governor Texas Greg Abbott. You all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down here. Former Democratic House and once censured Republican Jamal Brown claimed Musk was a Nazi and an incompetent thief. Democrat Elon Musk paid $13 billion in personal income tax, more than the entire country. No one's ever paid that money in 1 year, and they call him a thief. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who once issued threats to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh by name, now boasts we have people going to Republican districts and going after these Republicans who are voting for this and forcing them to either change their vote or face the consequences. He should be in prison. Furious at their own increasing impotence, these contemporary Democratic Jacobians are dabbling in their own version of a reign of smut terror. They're probably too impotent to derail the country, but they're certainly destroying themselves. Victor Davis Hanson. There you go. All right. Wow. Heinrich Schoenefeld, thank you for the, I didn't see the chat come in, or the super chat come in. Let me make sure I get all the super chats here. All right, fan funding. So we got, from the beginning, we got Podcast. Thank you for the membership. Usina, 10 pounds. Ernst, 99. Thank you. Hillbilly Skeptic. Petro Jakobson, 140. Heinrich Schoenefeld, 70. Hillbilly Skeptic, $5. Okay, I guess I got them all then. Okay, cool. All right. So the gentleman here that wants to complain, let's go back to that. Where's he at? Did he disappear? There he is. Urban Grooves Temple. Okay. You're crying that you're being censored. You're not being censored. You're just being rude. I'm just delivering the news and you're trying to disrupt it. What do you want? I'm here now. What question do you have? You want to espouse the values of Marxism, and you want to complain you're not a racist? Well, you publish racist garbage in my chat, and that's why it was deleted. You publish racist garbage. So please, what is it you want to know? What would you like to talk about? Capitalism does make the rich richer and the poor poor. You're full of it. You don't know jack squat about capitalism. You don't know about it. What is capitalism there, buddy? What's capitalism? What is capitalism? Tell me what capitalism. What you call capitalism is not capitalism. What South Africa has is not capitalism. What America has is not capitalism. What China has is sure as hell not capitalism. Look at these pathetic losers. Who are you, Rob's Gone Sailing? Kissing up the gate. What are you talking about, moron? Look at these fucking morons that come on here and type their bullshit. You hate wankers better find something else to do. Kissing up to Gayton? What planet are you on? I've criticized Gate McKenzie honestly. Listen, these losers just come here and make shit up. They just make shit up. They just make it up. You're pathetic losers. Pathetic losers. Why is Wyatt kissing up McKenzie? Dude, I've criticized Jake McKenzie for his race hustling repeatedly. What are you talking about? Kissing up. These are not even effective trolls. They can't even come here with real stories. They just make it up. Well, why does Wyatt think the sky is purple? Because it's my favorite color. Urban Grooves. Okay. your message will be deleted. Remove. You've been told on this channel endlessly that only my moderator Hendo uses caps. You want to chat? Put it up there. And you didn't ask a question. I asked you what you thought capitalism is. You're interrupting my chat. You've got my attention. Bringing your question. I've asked you, what do you think capitalism is? And now you want to play games about, yeah, it's so sad. Are you sitting there? You getting off? You getting off, buddy? Yeah, they've got a little list. They've got a list here. It says, okay, so we'll accuse this white person of being a racist. We'll accuse this American of being, an empirist. We'll accuse, okay, we'll just make this up. We'll make this up. They just make crap up, man. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I'm waiting, buddy. We're waiting. Pat, having a good weekend. Thank you. Message from Mod saying USA is taken back by the amount of people wanting to go. Who said that, Chana? Who said that? Who said that? I didn't say that. Exactly, Wacko. They can't answer a question. So I'm waiting, but see, he's going through his list of things. Let me go through my prepared list of things I'm supposed to say and respond. They actually challenged me and asked me questions. What am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do now? Yeah, it's a 30% crowd. You're right about that. So anytime now, buddy, we're waiting for your response. What exactly is your definition of capitalism? Well, he doesn't have one. Doesn't have one. Celestial Concerto is a garden gnome. Capitalism, I guess you could say survival of the fittest, but that's not the definition of capitalism. Capitalism is based off of one key premise. One key premise. True capitalism. Does anybody know what it is? Anybody? Of course he's a caterer. He's paid to do it. And that's why he can't respond, because they're not that bright. I'm still waiting, buddy. Still waiting. You're crying. You're not giving me free speech. Dude, you got free speech. You got free speech. You're not speaking. You're not speaking. Thank you, Heinrich Havanga. Supply and demand. That's capitalism. That's the essence of capitalism. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. On my shelf is The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Yeah, it's about supply and demand. That's basically what it comes down to. He who supplies it, he who demands it. They agree, and it works out. So it doesn't make the rich richer and the poor poorer. If capitalism and capitalistic ideas made the rich richer, then explain to me why the poorest people in America live better than people in South Africa do. Explain to me. 50 people, that's a lot. I have to shut that down, that alert box. Explain to me how 600 million people have been lifted out of poverty by applying free market principles to China. You can't, because that's what happened. Capitalism has lifted more people out of abject poverty around the world than any other economic system. But I'm waiting for him. Nothing. While in the intermission, while we wait for him, I think that maybe it's time for a reset. What do you guys say? Time for reset. Speaking of resetting here. Come on. You guys ready? You guys ready? I think it's time. It's time. We're going to have to do this. Yep. Here we go. Here we go, folks. It's time once again. Tom McDonald! Yes! Trolls be gone. I'm still waiting for your response, buddy. Still waiting for your response. Did he respond while we were singing the song? Nope. You didn't get blocked. You didn't get canceled. You got your chance of free speech, and you had nothing to say when you had your free speech. Lynette DeVette gave 140 Rand. How's education in schools in Pennsylvania? Top notch, despite the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Would you let all your kids go there? Yeah, I would hope so, because I pay a frickin' fortune out my backside to the local school district, which has gold-plated toilets and has yeah, absolutely, folks. Let's check on something here very quickly. Got to check on something, make sure I'm up to date here before we roll. And thank everybody for playing along today. I've enjoyed it today, and really enjoying the Tom McDonald new song. It is just awesome. So I'm supposed to go on at 1 o'clock, but the game actually starts at 1:15, so we can run a little bit longer on this one. If you can't create demand, you can't capitalize on supply. Exactly. The Soviets tried to create demand. It was all just nonsense. It didn't work. Yep. Free speech also means you get challenged on your ideas. Exactly, Ethan Axel van der Metsch. That's exactly right. Free speech, exactly. You get challenged. Notice that people aren't challenging me on my ideas. They're simply calling me names. They're ad hominem attacks, or right-wing podcaster, or alt-right, or whatever the hell. I'm center-right, traditional liberal values, free speech, free trade, freedom of worship, freedom of assembly. Everyone's equal. The content of their character, not the color of their skin. These are liberal concepts. But that makes me a right-wing podcaster? What a bunch of pathetic losers. It's on the USA Requirement Missions info group. That's not one of my groups. Not one of my groups, Channa. Not one of my groups. No, you're attributing stuff to me that have nothing to do with me. Okay, my groups on WhatsApp are called U.S. Refugee Admissions Info Group. U.S. Refugee Admissions Info Group. There's no requirement. The only posting in that group. Hang a second. Hendo has put something in here. He said, telling people to keep cash in hand for a flight ticket if they run short of funds for the program. And you took that to mean that what do you take that to mean? I don't understand, China, what the issue is. Apologize. Please explain what the issue is. I'm confused. Okay, that group is full. So let me find my other one. Okay. All right. Well, there is. Wow. People are leaving. Wow. See, I told you. All these people would leave. They'd all leave. There's a lot of slots in refugee group too. All these people leave as soon as they got what they wanted. They're not loyal. They just want to milk me dry for whatever information they can. They're going to leave. Exactly. That's what I said. I was right. And every day we lose 1 or 2, but 14 people in one night. Yeah, they're all frauds. These people are frauds. So if anybody here wants to join that group, there's 11 spaces right now. All right, that's refugee group 2. If you want to be in the info group, there's 11 slots. So you go ahead and put in right now, and I'll approve them right now, and you can get in. There's no queue. There's no one waiting to get in that group. That's why I'm putting it out there. I have zero requests to join that group right now. There's one. All right, one of you just got in. You're in. Somebody had a kitty for their avatar. You're in. 1 request. 5 requests. 7 requests. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people just got in. There you go. 7 more. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all you guys in. Okay. Oh, now I'm full. All right, we got 11 in. We got 5 more. Okay, guys, ease up. So there's 9 more people. So there you go. Yep, there you go. I don't know why those people left, but I guess that they didn't hear what they wanted to hear, so they left. That's on them. But thank you. Yeah, you guys your timing's good. You're here when there was if there were people in the queue, and the 9 of you that are in the queue now, when people leave, we'll put you in. You're in sequence, and in the order you came in, we put you in. That's what I've been doing all along. But I told you, a lot of people are just users. They're just freeloaders. They just want stuff for free. They want my time, my hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free time. So I quit adding up the time. It was $120,000 of billing hours that I had already not billed anybody for offering analysis here. They just want free stuff, and they're just and who was it? Marius, you were upset. Marius, you appreciate thank me, but Marius, these people that just freeloaded and wanted something free and left, yeah. So there you go. There's you're upset with Byron, but there's the proof in the pudding right there. Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Pete. Yeah, your wife got on. Okay, cool. Well, hang in there. You only need one of you in there, so that's good. But yeah. Thank you, Donnie Fundenberg. Appreciate it. I'm still waiting. Did he respond? Nope. Your idea is a breath of fresh air, but humans are human and consider the black box built. Yeah, no, I got you, Kurt Mariano. That's a cool name. Kurt Mariano. Sounds like I don't know. That sounds like a celebrity. It's a cool name. Victor says, what's going on? Well, people left the group. Yeah, please don't use all caps. That's only for Hendo. Dario de Guvello. Wow, Govia. Love you long time, Chris. Well, thank you for the 140 Rand super chat. It's very kind of you. Taboho is still asking Grok what he should reply. No, Taboho's not here. Don't pick on Taboho. It's that group. Sorry, Colonel. Hard typo. And yes, I'm worried that we might. Okay, thank you, Chana, for explaining. Okay. Yeah, and then get looked over because there's so many. Okay, Chana, first off, let's put things in perspective, okay? I'd already been warning people from the very beginning, if you paid attention to what I said. From the very beginning, I've been warning people, from the very beginning, that by law, we're authorized to spend money on refugees for 3 years. Actually, I think it's 5, but for 3 years for the cash assistance and all that stuff. You're supposed to be able to collect that money for years. But in recent years, the program has only been able to pay for 8 months. So I've warned you, if you watch the finance video that I talked about, and I've also talked about in these live streams, that you're likely only to get money for 8 months. Okay? The money for flying over, if you don't have it, that's normally taken care of by the International Organization of Migration. Now, depending on how much money they have, they give you an interest-free loan. So I don't know why the embassy is telling people there's no money, because I think they're speaking out of turn. So again, there's a lot of unknowns here. But from the outset, I've always told people that it's a possibility you could pay for your flight, but you may not have to pay for your flight. So if you're going to give up because you don't have money for the flight, then you're not serious about this. This is not directed at you, Shauna. This is directed to anybody that just, I can't get a passport. I've already helped 2 people. I don't have time for this stuff. I've 2 people already been directed to someone else who offered in the chat to pay for your passport. And that's being taken care of. Allow for the possibility that Back a Buddy or GoFundMe or something like that will be done by people to help others. Allow for that possibility, okay? Also allow for the possibility, that's right, they're testing the desperation of people. And if you give up because you're desperate, then you're not that desperate. You can't post Del Rey on X. That's nonsense. Well, it was a free speech platform. So, you know, I find it mind-boggling. The first time people hear something, they're like, throw my toys out of the pram. What the hell? What the hell? Seriously. If that were the case, I wouldn't even bother broadcasting doing this. The abuse that I get, the nonsense I put up with, the lies spewed about me, I would have given up a long time ago. It takes real strength of character to deal with the crap that I deal with. It doesn't take much strength of character to be patient and wait for facts. I gave you the information that came from an interview. I recorded it, so you'd be better, more aware. So what exactly do people in South Africa think? That, and this isn't directed at Chan, okay? This is so that nobody starts beating up on her. Do you think, okay, so Trump announced a program. Oh, I'll do anything, man. Okay, here you go. Yeah, boy, all right. Where's the plane leave? Where's the plane leave, man? Just tell me when I get there. I'm going to enjoy my biltong here. Let me know when the plane's ready. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Did you book my flights? I want first class, okay? Yeah, first class. Mm-hmm. And I've got 4 cats and 3 dogs, 6 hamsters, and a goat. Yeah, I want a goat, man. I want that goat to go with me, yep. So I'm just going to wait here. You guys tell me when it's time. You know, I'll tell you what. It's just, that's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to, all right, so, yep. Hey, is the bride ready? All right, let's go.
A fucking goat outside.
It's just a goat.
No.
What? No, it's a fucking goat. It's a fucking goat. It's a fucking goat. All right. Hopefully that didn't offend anybody. I'm trying to make a point here, okay? You want something, you have to participate. You have to put effort into it. If you give up, man, you sound like the Welsh rugby team, man. They just give up. I mean, look at the people in Afghanistan. They grabbed the hold of the wheels to escape and fell to their deaths. I'm not recommending you do that, but I'm saying, come on. Are you really desperate, man? It's that damn goat can make biltong. No, you're not making biltong out of that goat. Anyway, all right. So, again, that's why this is not about China, because China asked a very good question. Do not attack China, okay? Okay, struggling a day off, go for passport. Right now, the boss is away on vacation. Okay, Psycho Billy. Scarlet's just beat the Osprey. Wow. Sounds like the Stormers game, Fleshin. And I just beat up on the Welsh. He's here. Superstar Mize, my go-to guy. I prefer your channel. Everyone, just be patient. If you really want to make a plan, I bet. Okay. Shout out to me to be the first to warn refugee scammers on your channel. I warned scammers about scammers within 10 minutes of my first broadcast. Go back and watch it. It's still on the channel. I'm millwright in South Africa. It's a dual trade. Electrician, fitter is the same. I don't know about that, but yeah, we have electricians and we have mechanical fitters, and I think millwright's an antiquated term. We used to have that term. We don't. Maybe it still applies in that field. I don't know, but you can look that up online. That's pretty easy to do. Cobus, thank you for the 35 Rand super chat. Okay, struggling with home affairs. I'll make a plan. They're looking to see who can afford and who cannot, and they're building a program. Exactly. If you can afford to pay, they're going to hope you pay for it, all right? But if you can't afford it, they'll probably make a plan. Graham Kelly says, "Dear God, people are so easily offended. We're supposed to be tough." And that's what I thought. I thought that Afrikaners were tough. Boer maak 'n plan. Hey, ek is Afrikaner. Ek is boer. Really? Sound like a lot of soft-hearted people here. Well, if I can't have my braai, I'm not coming. If my hamster, where's Nick at? Where's Nick? He's sitting with his hamsters. My hamster can come, I'm not coming. I was savaged by a hamster. Shout out to, okay. Exactly. Alt says, I know people that gladly pay into a backup buddy for tickets. Guys, wait until we get there. Exactly. Exactly. And Chris says, you people have to be willing to help each other. That's the board character. Exactly. Exactly. Earl says, people should just relax and wait for the program to be finalized before making assumptions. Exactly. Tracy saw the video. You're very welcome, Tracy. AJ says, thank you for your help. Yeah, the group, you were 5 minutes behind, G9. You were 5 minutes. Let me see if anybody left. I might have hurt some feelings. So maybe somebody left. Somebody just left. Somebody just left one of the second group. There you go. Pending request. All right. Katya, you just got in. Somebody left. I hurt somebody's feelings. I just hurt somebody's feelings with my comments and somebody left. All right. Both groups are full again. Thank you, Aaron Scufford. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm trying to save, but my wife keeps spending money at Temu. Oh, my goodness. Katya, yeah, that's you. You got in, sweetheart. You're in. Neville, you missed a great one. Where you been, Neville? I haven't seen you in a bit. Tremendous struggles. I'm still overcoming it. I'm sorry, but I don't want those who just give up, go along, just weigh us down. Exactly. You can't handle the truth. Am I too white? You might be. It's not a paid holiday for those in peril. Yeah, exactly. I'm still trying to find the money to buy my boys a passport. Yes, even with all these qualifications, I've been unemployed. No, I got you, Alan. I'm sure. All right, guys, I have to end it here because we've got rugby on Rugby Ascendant. Let me make sure that I've got you directed over there. Don't leave yet. I'm going to get you set up so you can go over there if you want to watch my rugby. Hang on. I think I've got it. Customization. No, I haven't done the redirect. So I got to get you redirected over there to Rugby Ascendant. Got 2 more games yet today to go. Glasgow, Sharks and Leinster is the next one. That starts a quarter after, so we got about 11 minutes before that game starts. You'll now be redirected there automatically if you want to catch it in my play-by-play and color commentary. On a different note, the following are fake news spread by me. The song Tell Me Lies was inspired by Snow White. People can't take you beginning, honestly, bring you people where they should. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So, should we do it one more time? Can we do it one more time before we go? I mean, I think we got to do it one more time, folks. This song is just that great. What do you say? Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? One more time. I mean, come on. Is it overkill? Is it overkill, or should we do it one more time? I think we should do it one more time. One more time, okay? I really think we should do it one more time, guys. Okay. Yeah, the song, yes. Yeah. No stripper chats, no. Okay, here we go. We'll do it one more time, and that'll be it, and then we'll go over to the rugby, okay? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. One more time! It is Tom McDonald with You Can't Cancel All of Us. Backup vocals by Chris Wyatt. But you won't be able to hear me because I have the volume turned up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Rocking it there. All right, that's going to do it for this stream. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to hit the like button. I noticed the gentleman never came back to answer my question about capitalism. He was trying to get a video they could steal and capture and misrepresent me. Epic failure. Didn't work, buddy. Didn't work. You can alter it. You know, you can try your AI stuff, but it didn't work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Hit the like button, and we'll catch you later on. But right now, it's time to go over to Rugby Ascendant for the Sharks at Hollywood Bets Kings Park in Durban, down on the east coast of South Africa, taking on Leinster. Good luck with that, boys. Have fun storming the castle. They should be able to pull it off tonight. Should be able to pull it off, but we'll see what happens tonight. Well, it's actually this afternoon, not really tonight. Where is my closing video at? My goodness, I can't find my closing video. We're not going to do Persona non grata. We've already run through that. Where is my... I'm going to have to put my glasses on. I can't see. This is getting old here. Come on, where are you hiding at there? That's why it's covered up. There you are. Cheers, everybody. See you in a few moments.